Derek has not slept in 2 days. His phone has 14 stock apps open. His eyes are red. His hands are shaking, not from coffee, but from checking his portfolio every 6 minutes since Monday. On the other side of the country, Sofia is asleep. She has not looked at her investment account in 11 weeks. Here is the twist. Sofia has more money than Derek. Same starting amount, same 5 years. Completely different results. This is the story of why the most successful investors are quietly doing less on purpose while everyone else is burning out trying to do more. By the end of this video, you will understand the one rule that separates people who build wealth from people who just feel busy building it. Derek used to be proud of his system. He read every finance newsletter. He watched market shows before breakfast. He believed that if he just worked harder at investing, checked more charts, moved his money faster, he would win. For a while it felt like it was working. A quick trade here, a lucky exit there. He told his friends he had a system. What he actually had was a full-time unpaid job with no salary and constant stress. Every dip sent him into panic mode. Every rally made him regret not buying more. He was making decisions with his adrenaline, not his plan, because he did not really have a plan. He had a feed. And a feed is designed to make you feel like you must act right now. Sofia started the exact same year Derek did. Same amount of money. She read exactly one article that changed everything for her. It said something simple. The investors who check their portfolio the least tend to outperform the ones who check it the most. She did not believe it either at first. It sounded lazy. It sounded like an excuse to be careless. But she decided to test it on herself, quietly, without telling anyone. Sofia set up something boring. She picked a diversified, low-cost investment approach that matched her actual timeline and risk comfort. She set an automatic transfer from her paycheck every month. Then she did something that felt almost wrong. She closed the app, not forever, just often. She set a rule for herself, check the account 4 times a year, not 4 times a day. Derek, meanwhile, was doing the opposite. Every red day felt like a 5-alarm fire. He would sell in fear, then buy back in a week later when things looked calm again. Usually at a slightly worse price. He was not investing. He was reacting. Nobody ever got rich reacting. They got tired reacting. 6 months in, Sofia's account had grown steadily. Nothing dramatic. Just quiet, consistent progress because her money was staying invested through the ups and downs instead of jumping in and out. Derek's account had grown too on paper, on his best weeks. But every panic sell had quietly chipped away at it. He had paid a hidden tax. Not to the government, to his own anxiety. Then the market dropped. Hard. Real headlines. Real fear. The kind that makes even calm people nervous. Derek's phone would not stop buzzing with alerts. He watched his balance fall and felt something close to physical pain. Every instinct told him to sell everything and wait it out in cash until things felt safer. He called Sofia, half expecting her to be panicking too. She was not. She told him she had seen the headline that morning, felt a small knot in her stomach, and then reminded herself of one sentence she had written on a sticky note months earlier. Time in the market matters more than timing the market. She had not looked at her account in 3 weeks. She was not going to start now, in the middle of a scary headline, when fear is the worst possible advisor. Derek could not understand it. How could she just not look? How could she just do nothing? Sofia said something that stuck with him. Doing nothing is not the same as doing nothing on purpose. She had already built her plan when she was calm. She was not going to let a panicked version of herself override a decision. Derek almost sold. His finger hovered over the button. Then he remembered Sofia's sticky note line and asked himself one question. Am I making this decision because of my plan or because of my fear? He put the phone down. Weeks later, the market recovered. Like it almost always eventually does, over a long enough timeline. Sofia's account had not just recovered, it had grown past where it started, because she never sold at the bottom in the first place. She simply stayed the course while her automatic contributions kept buying in, including during the dip at lower prices, without her even trying to time it. Derek looked at his own account. He had sold late, out of panic, and bought back in even later, out of fear of missing the recovery. He had done more work than Sofia all year. He had less to show for it. That was the moment it clicked for him. Being a lazy investor was not about being careless, it was about being so confident in the plan that you did not need to babysit it every single day. Act 5. The rule. Here is the core rule from this story. The boring rule of strategic laziness. Build your plan when you are calm. Automate your contributions so they happen without relying on your motivation. Then deliberately limit how often you check and react. So, fear and excitement cannot hijack decisions that should be made by your long-term plan, not your short-term emotions. This is not an excuse to ignore your finances completely. You still choose your investments thoughtfully. You still review your plan periodically, maybe once a quarter, to make sure it still fits your goals. The laziness is targeted. You are lazy about reacting to daily noise. You are not lazy about designing the plan in the first place. 3 simple steps to start. Step 1. Automate your contributions so investing happens on a schedule, not on your mood. This means setting up a recurring transfer from your paycheck or bank account into your investment account. The same amount, on the same day, every single time. You do not log in and decide if you feel like investing this week. You do not wait for the market to look safe. You do not wait until you feel confident. The transfer happens whether you are excited, scared, busy, or completely forgot the date. This removes the single biggest point of failure in most people's investing journey, which is relying on willpower. Willpower runs out. Automation does not. Step 2. Set a fixed schedule for checking your portfolio and treat off schedule checking as a habit to break, not a virtue. Pick a rhythm that fits you, maybe once a quarter, maybe once a month, but choose it in advance and write it down somewhere you will actually see it. Every time you feel the urge to open the app outside that window, notice it as a signal, not an action. That urge is usually fear or excitement talking, not strategy. The market moves every second, but your financial goals do not change every second. Checking constantly does not give you more control, it just gives you more chances to make an emotional decision you will regret later. Step 3. Write down your plan and your reasons while you are calm. So future stressed out, you have something steady to return to. This can be as simple as a single note on your phone or a sticky note on your desk. Write why you chose this approach, what your timeline is, and what you promised yourself you would do when the market gets scary. The version of you reading this note during a crash is not thinking clearly. That version needs instructions from a calmer, wiser version of yourself. This note becomes your anchor, something that pulls you back to logic when emotion is pulling you toward panic. Derek eventually built his own version of Sofia's sticky note. His said, "The plan already accounted for days like this." He kept it taped to the inside of his laptop, so every time he opened it to check his portfolio, that sentence was the first thing he saw before any chart or headline could reach him. He still opens his finance app sometimes, but now it is out of curiosity, not panic. He checks in on schedule, reviews his progress, and closes the app again without spiraling. And that difference, curiosity instead of panic, is worth more than any hot tip he ever chased. It is the quiet difference between an investor who lasts 20 years and one who burns out in 2. This video is for general educational purposes only and is not personalized financial advice. Always consider your own situation, goals, and risk tolerance, and speak with a qualified financial professional before making investment decisions. If this story helped you see investing a little differently, subscribe to The Boring Investor for more stories about building wealth the unglamorous, disciplined way.